Alright, we're live. Maybe. Alright. Yeah, we're definitely live now.
Okay. Sweet. Team all set. It's all set. Alright, the home team, so.
Alright. Thank you, Phil. And here we go.
I'm going with my all black uniforms.
Okay. Why does it have me going home? Do you see my uniform on my screen?
Yeah, it's showing your dark blue and red
Okay.
pants.
Is that good?
That's good, yeah.
I don't know why my screen's not showing shit.
You had your white ones.
Yeah.
Hi. There you go.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air.
Alright.
Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Beyond thrilled to be bringing you the Super Bowl. All the pomp, all the circumstance, all the pageantry. It doesn't get any better than this, partner.
I'm loving
Phil's
sharing
hosting the
this
Super Bowl.
with you, sharing this moment, this type of a game. For all the
feels
teachers
great.
who said we'd never
Second
make it,
time.
we're here.
And we talk these last couple weeks
Many
about
more
the
to come,
build-up, the
hopefully.
anticipation. I think these guys are just ready to get out there and get this thing started.
And I know that both coaching staffs have spent considerable time trying to figure out how to best bring their team up to a peak without taking them over the edge and causing a lot of issues early in the game.
And you don't think much of a pregame speech is needed for this one.
I think the pregame speeches were the shortest all year.
Pressure up the middle, and down he goes.
Done.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their second down call is going to look like now.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. It's a 6-yard pickup to get him back to the original line of scrimmage with third down coming up.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent game.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. action. Rodgers.
Oh,
Rifles one that's intercepted.
what?
Picked off near the 32. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter,
Got
first drive,
seizure out. Didn't want to
first
tackle you.
interception thrown.
And that
What?
last one, that hurts.
That guy had a seizure. He didn't want to tackle you.
Right.
Leopard! Leopard! Now let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is
Fucking
Saquon
bum.
Barkley. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Here we go now!
On second down, here's Barkley. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8.
Detroit! Detroit!
They're going to look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on
Oh
these
shit, that
Oh,
was
so
close.
close.
3rd down, they give them the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
They got
Dove
the
too early.
interception, but very little
Oh, man.
movement after.
You
and
had that
forces them to
blocked.
settle for 3, and it
Yeah.
does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And now back out comes the offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Well, on the 30, they'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Rodgers to throw on second down.
Oh,
And he'll get this back down to about the 12-yard
I was hoping to
line.
get him real quick. I was expecting that to float over like that.
Ordinarily, we look at the offense and
That's
say,
rough.
what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll start by running the option to the right. And this play gets blown up.
All over
They'll
that.
lose yardage back at the 17.
You've seen that a time or two,
That's
haven't
a
you?
loss of 4 there, bringing
Yeah.
up second down.
Yeah.
If you're the coaching staff upstairs, you might want to file that play away. Did you see how fast the safety closed on that one? Coming up in run support, made a big-time tackle. Might want to try and check into a pass next time.
Yeah, got him for a loss. Really, really great play defensively. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Back to throw here. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he'd stand in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion. What you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Man, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
Now this offense ready to head back out there. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him, but whatever.
And Rodgers
What the
intercepted
hell?
the 3rd time.
Everywhere I throw it.
Picked off around the 27.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Set. Green 39.
First down carry for Barkley. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together. It makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time blitzer, but boy, he knows how to pursue straight ahead and make plays in the run game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
A 3rd field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down.
Gone. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll set up a throw. Over the middle, that's caught by
Sorry.
Ridley. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Henry's got it out on the left side. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Go to 50. Hey, you block over here.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers.
Good.
And he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Mexico City football to begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And instead, they want to throw it off play action. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
How about that, partner? His 2nd sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. 12 yards on the return that time. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down.
And he fumbled it.
Oh,
It's
shit.
on the ground. And it'll be a turnover. This is going the other way.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Rodgers. He's going to air one out. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Nikel Roby-Coleman. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Wait a second, they did not accept that after the incompletion. Your look is just as puzzled as mine.
I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's free yards. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10.
Hey. Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Goes underneath for Henry. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Hey, hurry up, here we go!
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
I don't know about you, partner, but on 2nd and inches, a lot of the times I'm leery about the offensive guys thinking about taking a shot downtown. Instead, they just hand it to the big man and let him rumble forward for a 1st down.
Set! 3-19!
The pitch goes to Barkley. Powerful running. And he'll be brought
I'm going to decline
down.
that because that was a pure accent. It's not you.
Here come the flags. Charles officials, and I just hear that right. They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused. Because they had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
After the penalty, they go with Barkley.
I missed him.
Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now let's go. Green.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19. Detroit. Detroit.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Now he's flushed out left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
On 3rd down, Barkley. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going.
I just ran into
the offensive line not helping him much.
He just kept going. Yeah.
Of course, they have the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play
No,
they just ran.
my luck if I take that,
but
accept that, it'll take or fumble or something. This is a very defensive game.
Yes.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And here now the offense heading back out there. And last time, 1 play interception, so this offense should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Forced out to his left. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Justin Reed.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets
right at your guy.
Panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Gotta know that you're open, otherwise, just don't do it.
It's Barkley on the counter. Even with the good move he showed, he'll be brought down short of the 15. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Miller. And this one complete right side to Funchess. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
They'll try and run for him with Barkley. And he goes backwards on this one. Losing yardage to the 7. minute 58 to go in this first half of play. We'll come back on Super Bowl Sunday after this. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Looking to throw. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal. They'll look to throw here. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? It creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, when we're having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. They run. Devontae Freeman. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And it's complete. Henry. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. And that one good for 16 yards and a first. First down now, but that clock rolling. They go play action here on first down. On the move to his left. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
But you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know, but all these first half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one, much more like lead.
Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Hey. 4 down.
And again, it's Rodgers.
Oh, why aren't you so...
Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Now on 4th down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on 4th down.
319!
They do go for it. It's Rodgers. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Gordon. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Not often do fourth down conversions result in 23 yards, but that's the case here. First down. Rodgers now 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this first half, but he's got a first down here. They're going deep for Hill. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. So these two teams will head to the locker room as we hit halftime in Super Bowl 56. As now we send you out to Orlando.
Hill was open on that first one. I could just lob past it to Aaron Rodgers.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So here they come, the road team now getting the football first to start this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
He's going to go deep for Funchess. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Set! 3-19! 3-19!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. He'll look to throw. It's caught by Funchess. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Wow.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down. Check 43. Front right, front right. Check flag 27, check flag 27.
They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And he will find his way forward to about the 23-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Jumbo! Everyone's got 4. 58!
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. And they're set up in a golden position here right around the 10-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. They'll try and get this run game going. This is Barkley. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Here's second and goal, operating from the 8-yard line.
Lucky 56.
He's going to get it running right. Trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a third and goal. And this offense on third down today, they're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. They're looking at a third and goal here. Here's Barkley. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. His kick is good. And that's going to open the lead up now to 3 scores at 18-0. Well, it's hard to put your finger on whether this is something to celebrate or something maybe the offense is embarrassed by. But that's now 6 field goals he's made in this game alone.
Yeah, he's bailed them out quite a bit so far. But it's very comforting to know that you have a kicker that's got your back.
No, come on.
And he nearly broke that for more. But as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. Now this offense about ready to take over again. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. 88. On second down, Freeman. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Now Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And that's his 3rd sack, and that ties his Super Bowl record. Makes me think of my old college teammate, Reggie White. He had 3 with the Green Bay Packers in Super Bowl 31. Darnell Dockett of Arizona, Super Bowl 43. And Coney Ealy. 3 sacks for the Panthers against Denver in Super Bowl 50.
All those sacks, they've only been an official record since Super Bowl 17. I know it's believed that L.C. Greenwood unofficially had 4 way back in Super Bowl 10.
Wearing those golden high tops as well.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll start by running the option to the right. They'll start out on the ground and Saquon Barkley. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line.
He continues to throw on a crease to break off a big one. It might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Hey. Gun!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing routes. The offense on 3rd down tonight, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that is incomplete.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there, In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
Here's Drew Kaiser now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. And now back out comes the offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Here's Rodgers to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Thomas for the pick. And he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line.
What was that?
So there's nothing I can do on offense.
And you can hear it all the way up here.
Sometimes it's hard to get anything going.
Turn to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Sometimes your receivers don't run the way you want them to run.
And my quarterback doesn't throw the ball.
Yeah.
Or just throws it to your guys in general.
Right.
The toss out to Barkley, and it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line.
The defense is doing
It's
good.
a loss of a yard there,
Yeah.
and now second down.
It's about the only
To
positive
say they've
of
kept
this.
him under wraps running the football, that's an understatement. He's been completely neutralized.
Yeah, they've essentially taken him out of the game, haven't they? And you know all the teams
Between
say,
both
"We're
teams,
not
it's
gonna let
90
him beat
yards.
us." But that's exactly what's happened here. They've lived up to that.
They'll go to Barkley again. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Everyone's got four down.
Now Saquon Barkley. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
So statistically, both of these offenses have a rough time getting a running game going. But boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right, you look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. So it's a drive that ends in 3, and I know that line sounds familiar. It's because I've said it 7 times now, and that leaves him 1 short of the NFL record of 8 field goals in 1 game.
It has been a lot of settling for 3. But I tell you what, it's nice to know that you have someone this reliable to turn to.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Back to the air on second down. It's Rodgers. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. On 1st First and 10. Here's Rodgers. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. A good pickup there on first as the screen pass gets a made.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Rodgers to throw on second down. This complete to Henry over the middle. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Rodgers now 5 straight completions here in this second half. First and 10. To throw, it's Rodgers. Gets this one to Hill. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Rodgers now has hit on just 7 of 17 passes, 41%. Rodgers to throw once more. Henry's got it out on the left side. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Rodgers now to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
Kelly, show left, Kelly. Hey, check 26. Moving good.
Now Rodgers got to have this one. And this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And as a result, possession switches hands. And they've now made 2 trips to the red zone and still looking for their first touchdown.
Not able to punch it in, and if you're on defense, your confidence is sky high. Because mentally, you're saying, hey, you're in the red zone. We're thinking we're giving up 3. We just want to give up 6. In this case, they end up not giving up the touchdown at all. They've got to feel great about what they got done.
They begin with a run by Barkley. And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Gun, gun. Gun, gun.
Again, it's Barkley. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, what a move. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Here's Drew Kaiser now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. This is taken at the 18. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Rodgers now on first down. And he'll win it over the middle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
58.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked.
And that's a Super Bowl record, his 4th sack of the game. I think we got to start thinking seriously about making him the Super Bowl MVP as well.
I think you're right. With him leading in the driver's seat, he certainly has a shot. Flushed out right. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on second down.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. Over the middle, complete. It's Gordon. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's going to be batted down.
Just
It will
have to
go
shoot
the
clock
other
on.
way with the football. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that may write a finish to this Super Bowl. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them.
Detroit! Detroit!
Ay. Well, at least they let you score a touchdown.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here.
Pick the play quickly.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now
Good game.
3rd and long.
Defensively, anyways. I mean,
The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because
he had a
you feel
great
that
season,
not
man.
just on the defensive side,
I did.
but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0
I was
on the
hoping to put up
scoreboard
at
for
least a
them,
little bit of a
going along
fight.
with those
Oh,
zeros in the time
made it
commentator.
interesting against Phil.
well, I mean, you really weren't that far off from getting shit going.
I don't know.
And a yard or two here, a yard or two there.
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers not throwing it directly to your guys pretty much would have
Yeah, pretty much.
made the game better. But he's doing the same thing against Phil. There was a shit ton of turnovers in that game.
As they end
And he
this
goes
year,
like
just
9
how everybody
turnovers
wants to
in
end
the
year,
first half
holding the
between
Lombardi
both of us.
Trophy. What a
Shit.
season for them. What a ride it's been for us as well here in the booth. For Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you next season right here on EA Sports.
Now it's on to Madden 20.
And 20.
Yeah. Yeah, so Madden 20 comes out August 2nd. So even
Yeah,
if
we
you
don't have
guys
time.
started a new, even if you started a new season, we wouldn't have enough time. We wouldn't even get halfway through. Which is what I was trying to tell.
Okay.
But
It usually came out. You came out the end of August or something. Or
yeah, no. Madden 19 came out. I was talking to Phil about it. Madden 19 came out August 10th. This one's coming out August 2nd. If you got the deluxe edition or like the mid-tier edition, you can wait 3 days early. But that's only if you like play the other modes in the game. If you don't do that, it's really not worth it. So.
Well, from all of us here in the Hunt Kick League, we'll see you in Madden 20. Goodbye, guys. Peace.